Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. This video is going to be entitled A War on Manhood. And it's pretty much exactly just that. I'm going to play a clip from RT in the UK and a clip from another news channel. Basically, that's basically about the UK judge bans school parents from protesting against equality lessons, which is not equality, is one-sided LGBT kind of lessons and stuff, and parents are protesting against it, yet the judge don't want to hear what the parents say because they believe that the LGBT stuff is more important. But I'm gonna play the news clip and I'm gonna get some scriptures and some definitions on words. So hey, it's a real war on manhood out here, man. I mean, the apostles brought it out years and years ago, talking about one day they're gonna look at a man, a normal man, as if he has three eyes, as if it's weird for a man to be a man, and that day is already here, and they pushing it hard, man. So I'm gonna play these news clips, and then I'm gonna get some scriptures. Commercials.
I'd like to know, how do you feel about the judge's ruling and his argument that the content of the classes was misinterpreted?
Well, I have to say I am very, very disheartened and quite disappointed actually with the misrepresentation by the judge, and it only reinforces the notion that I've had for some time now, that anybody who stands up or anybody who speaks against the LGBT community here in Birmingham, United Kingdom, is either deselected from their parties, or, like this judge, is giving a very one-sided judgment based on speculation and assumption. And probability, they've said that based on probability the parents may have done this, or based on probability the protests were not good. But the fact was, not a single arrest was made, not a single follow-up allegation. And the question is, why aren't the other 300 schools around Birmingham having this issue? Because this particular head teacher at this particular school has a very pro-LGBT narrative, unfortunately.
Yeah. What is it that concerns you the most about the lessons?
Well, what concerns us the most, and it's quite simple, and a very good friend of mine and I were talking today, and we were talking about children smoking. He put the question to me that, Shaquille, can a 5-year-old smoke? I said no. He said, can a 5-year-old drink alcohol? I said no. He goes, can a 5-year-old drive a car? I said no. Well, he goes, according to the books they're giving, a 5-year-old can decide their sexual orientation, and that's fine. It's absolutely not acceptable when parents have age appropriateness issues, when parents are concerned with the way that the teachers are doing this. And it's like as if the judgment in itself, if you actually read it, it's very one-sided. It has accused me of being a gang member when I am a law-abiding citizen, and that's on assumption, that's on probability. We assume that Shakil brought the people to throw eggs at the protesters, but they didn't realize on that particular day that they were giving an account for, I had actually spoken with local law enforcement and given them a very detailed account with video footage. It's just a very unfair, very extreme propaganda that's being done here to, dare I say, brainwash our children.
Well, you're right, children can't smoke, children can't drive cars, but they're aware of these things. So, teaching them about the sexual orientation is not telling them to act on it, it's just making them aware of it. So surely they can learn about it, no?
Yeah, well, look, all parents have said that we understand about diversity, and when I mean all parents, I mean Jewish, Christian, and Muslim communities, and the fact of the matter is, it's the way it's done. When you provide a child a book about a man who actually wants to dress and live as a woman, it becomes very confusing to our 4 and 5-year-old children. We understand that you need to explain diversity, but when you say in the words of it's okay to be gay, these children from Jewish, Muslim and Christian background have been taught opposite. All their life they've been taught opposite, that it's not okay to eat pork, it's not okay to drink alcohol, and it's not okay to be indulge in homosexual activities. Now, those who wish to live that lifestyle, we respect them as adults, we respect, but our children are our responsibility. We have to safeguard what we think is in the best interest, and this is being dictated by the state. You know, the state is not giving us no right, or this school is not giving us no right. The state has actually made rules to say age appropriateness is very important, but that's not being followed, and we're just being pushed, and loads of our taxpayer money is being used to place injunctions on parents.
How important is it to protect the rights of minority groups, especially with religion, considering how progressive the UK is becoming?
Well, look, it's not about not only about minority groups. It's about protecting parental rights. It's about protecting a parent who's concerned that his or her child will become confused when provided books. We've had children who have come home and who have said they wanted to wear their sister's clothes. It becomes distressing for the parent when they haven't been consulted. If the parents are on board and there is a program in place that caters for that, but unfortunately the Educate and Celebrate, the No Outsiders program, they're vigorous, extreme, LGBT-focused lifestyle programs which basically say that lifestyle is acceptable. But to the Christian brothers, to the Jewish brothers, it's not acceptable. To the Muslim brothers, it's not acceptable. And why are we just being pushed out and silenced? And the question that everyone's asking today is the judgment fair? No, it's not. It's absolutely one-sided. It's absolutely based on probability, and all the facts that we have given haven't been even regarded. And parents are now seriously considering taking this to the Supreme Court.
So that was the news report. The title of the news report is UK Judge Bans School Parents from Protesting Against Equality Lessons, which is not equality lessons. It's basically LGBT lessons, like you were saying. So, and we know the scriptures of the Bible is the same scriptures we always get, but I'm going to go through them anyway. It's Leviticus 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, implying that a man is supposed to lie with a woman. This is all biblical. Both of them have committed abomination. So if a man lies with a man as he lieth with a woman, because a man is supposed to lie with a woman, he have committed abomination for lying with another man. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. And when you look up the word abomination,
Strong's H 8441, To'eva, To'eva.
and really it will be pronounced, what is it? Tashab, or the Ibe, or something like that. What is it? Thawaiba. That's what it will be pronounced in the Paleo. Thawaiba. But anyway, the definition is a disgusting thing. Abomination, abominable. In a ritual sense of unclean foods, idols, mixed marriages. And in ethical sense, wicked. A disgusting, wicked, unclean thing, man. That's what it is. Disgusting, wicked, unclean thing. That's what an abomination is. So when you read Leviticus 20 and 13, let's see. You read Leviticus 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed a wicked and unclean, disgusting thing. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. That's how the Lord feels about LGBT. And the words of the Bible has been around since the beginning of time. Says Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? Esau. You Edomites, you changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. That's why you have things like LGBT pushing the fag agenda. Who have changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, the Most High gave them up to vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So, let's look up vile.
Strong's G, 819. Atamia.
Atamia. Okay, what the definition? Dishonor, ignominy, disgrace. So a vile thing, shame, a reproach, a shameful thing, a reproachful thing, a dishonorable thing, an ignominious thing, a disgraceful thing. That's what it is. It's vile. Even though the women changed the use to that which is against nature. So it's natural for a man and a woman to sleep together, or to lie down together, to have sex, if you will. For this cause, the Most High gave them up to vile affections. What's a vile affection? An abominable affection. Man lying with man, women lying with women. For even the women did change the natural use to that which is against nature. And likewise also the men. They changed the use of their male parts, and the woman changed the use of her woman parts to that which is against nature. That is not natural. Leaving the natural use of the woman burned in their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of the error which was meet. In other words, those diseases such as AIDS and other diseases, hepatitis B and all those other diseases that come with vile affections, man. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. A reprobate mind, we know reprobate means void of judgment. To do those things which are not convenient. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. Because the LGBT is an evil thing. And they invent more and more evil things. That's why they're going to these schools, banning parents' protests against schools. Banning the parents' protests against schools. Against these them teaching gay and lesbian rights in school to 4 and 5 year olds that don't know anything, against their parents' wishes. Inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, definitely without natural affection, because the natural affection is for a man and a woman to love each other and be man and wife. Implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, because they know the judgment, and we, because hey, us brothers are out there week in and week out saying the judgment. If a man lie with mankind, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death. That is the judgment. They have committed abomination, and they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. In other words, the person that put them to death is guilty of no crime. That's the judgment. who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do they the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. And that's why they are trying to push this fag agenda so hard, because they have pleasure in them that do these abominable acts. Why? Because they do the abominable acts. And now they're trying to silence the voice of the parents that don't want their children to learn these things. It's Matthew chapter 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because, hey, man, the way they pushing this fag agenda, they ain't holding no stops now. And you got these guys, they got, and this, I'm talking about the elites, got these guys, Malik Yoba, Billy D. Williams, who back in their heyday were supposed to be manly men. And now they're coming out as transgender loving, basically fag loving and less than masculine, but in their heyday they were manly men, or ladies men, so to speak. And really, to be totally honest, is really a war on manliness in the so-called Negro, Indian, Latino hood. You Jakes is where they really aiming it at, because Jake is resistant to this fag agenda. So they trying to get Jake on board with it. Hey, all I can say is you better keep resisting, because this bullshit, the Lord ain't gonna let this go on for too much longer. These abominable acts. The Lord ain't gonna let it go on for too much longer. And of course, I went on ahead and brought up the definition of masculinity and femininity. Masculinity is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles associated with boys and men. Roles associated with boys and men. Yes, we have roles. To be a man, you have certain role. You protect and you guide your family. Although masculinity is socially constructed, some researchers indicate that some behaviors considered masculine are biologically influenced. Of course it is. If you have a rod, biologically you're supposed to put your rod in a woman's private parts. And you're supposed to protect and provide for your family. And you're supposed to guide your family. This is a man's role. And that is masculinity. Who cares what you consider it to be? It is masculinity. It is manly. That's what it is. Why? Because the Bible supports it. Femininity. Femininity is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles generally associated with girls and women. Although femininity is socially constructed, some researchers indicate that some behaviors considered feminine are biologically influenced, like a man going into a woman having children and guiding the children according to the wishes of the man. That is a woman's role, to listen to a man and go by what that man says and guide the house. That's what a woman's role is. And in this messed up society, you have been taught wrong about what a man and a woman is. It ain't even it ain't about forgetting. You've just been taught wrong. Why? Because that's what Esau pushes, man. Why? Because you Edomites are the devil that the Bible speaks of. If you don't know what an Edomite is, it's a so-called white person. Just give it to you straight. You so-called white people are Edomites. And this is the last scripture. This is Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? This LGBT movement. You Edomites can't say you didn't make it. Because this is what you do. This is what you devils have been pushing. You have definitely been pushing a fag agenda. And you call it LGBT alphabet group. Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Yeah, you devils know what you're doing. You want to push the woman, man thing. And guess what? The Lord is going to destroy you for it. But this is just so brothers, the elect can be aware of this agenda that they're pushing so hard, man. And really is a war on manhood against you Israelites. That's what the real war on manhood is about. Because Esau, they've been down with it. But they trying to make you Israelites go off. I mean, them being down with it, you can tell that they're down with it because of their the low birth rates. Too many men with men and women with women. So now they're resorting to teaching it in schools at a high rate in the neighborhoods where dark-skinned people are. And it's messed up that the so-called Muslims are the only ones that's protesting this, man. You Israelites should be protesting this all over the globe. But hey, we already know 2/3 of our people ain't gonna get it, and they're gonna be put to death. So, but yeah, this is just so brothers can be aware of what's going on. That they pushing this agenda, this fag agenda, very hard, man. I mean, they really trying to get you Israelites to become fags and lesbians, man. So they pulling out all the stops, all the manly men of their heyday, pulling out all the stops, man. So with that, I hope you Akim were edified. Till the next time, all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kodash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you Akim that's doing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.